With 4 million sounds, what will you create? Take the free trial today.
Hello YouTube, welcome to a new synth anatomy video and to the first video from the Superbooth 20HE Home Edition coverage. I'm here in the line with Stein from This Is Not Rocket Science and Manu Retamero from Befaco. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Fine. Good. Listen, hope you're also well.
Are you still healthy? Are you...
Mostly,
Yeah.
There is one reason why we have both of you in the stream, because you have something like an official collaboration, or
Yes.
let's say it. Is it a collaboration between you two, or is it something you agreed?
Now it is a collaboration, but it was more of a sneaky thing that we wanted to build ourselves. And then before releasing it to the world, contacted Befaco.
Yeah, it's we can call it collaboration. Yeah, it's I'm seeing this a funny game of look what I did. So you did this. Look what I did.
How dare you show
maybe
me your schematics?
How you dare to do that? So I don't know. Maybe Stein can tell you the story from the beginning, as he's who started all this.
Yeah, well, of course you started with your drums. But one of the people that always helps us out with the This Is Not Rocket Science things, Olivier, was trying to learn some circuit software. And to start with, he took the Befaco KickAll schematic and tried to convert that into an SMD board. But that sort of went nowhere for a while. So we had this file sitting somewhere, which was pretty much the same as the normal KickAll. Nothing changed, but slightly smaller. And then I had a friend ask me if I could help him just get a sort of a starter kit to learn modular synthesizers with before buying anything for himself. So I was putting together this suitcase with all our prettiest modules because, well, of course, good friends, we treat him well. And then I found out that I didn't have any drums to put in that case for him. So I looked through all the files of random stuff we had, and I found this half-done schematic of the KickAll. I just, well, if we add a tiny bit of this, a tiny bit of that, and then we double the entire thing, and then maybe add some noise, then this could be a drum kit for him. So I spent slightly more time than I intended to on getting this ready.
And how long does it take to bringing this together? Because you had this schematics to now to Superbooth Home Edition. So how long takes this progress?
Well, we started, of course, with the schematic, and I don't know how long it took to actually transfer this original schematic, but I think I spent a week total to make the new version. And mostly in sort of lost hours between everything else. Just
I will show you
how that happens. So maybe start with the picture of the back. It's
like this better.
Oh yeah, you also have the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it started out as a drum circle, and it became the CircularThing, and then this other CircularThing took over the world. We had to incorporate it a bit.
So basically, you designed a new PCB and which is based on the circuits of Befaco.
Yeah, but it's also it modifies a whole bunch of the things. It's not a one-to-one copy anymore, even though 95% is still the same. But I really tried to make every knob go slightly beyond what it would be for a bass drum, so it could also do snare drums, hi-hats, toms, and different effects.
Was that the idea, to create one entire voice where you have everything inside?
Yeah. Well, actually, it's two entire voices now. So you can either make one really complicated drum out of it, or you can use two simpler drums.
And what was your first impression of it, Manu, when you first the first unit of it? Is it possible? The first reaction.
Well, we had conversations and ideas, and so he already explained me what he had in mind and what the prototype was going to do. So I was already pretty hyped. So I saw the live stream before I got my hands on one, And with the live stream, I got really impressed what Stein was able to do with a couple of units, 2 of them and a baseline. It was like, whoa, so alien thing. And then once I got it home, I was able to check by hand that it's indeed an alien generator thing. It's nice to see how he has taken the KickAll thing, which is a pretty normal, let's say, or pretty standard topology for a drum model, and then he has added his twist. This is why I was joking before, no? Like, hey, look what I did. So he did like this weird cross modulation thing that, of course, I wouldn't think about it, and then he put the noise source there with a VCA, which of course everybody thought about it, but never took the time to actually do it. And then suddenly it was there. What really I really like from this thing now, well, I like many things, no, but it's all the jumpers on the back, all the possibilities. Let's say that some of the possibilities that he has added there were discarded from the KickAll, but then now they are available. So from our perspective, let's say that when they contacted us initially, it was like, okay, sure, why not? But then when he showed us the first image of the panel, it was like, that looks interesting. Maybe we can do something about it. Maybe.
Could we make it even more powerful in the next version?
Yes.
The thing is that there are, let's say that in this kind of collaboration, it's always complicated for so many reasons. From the company perspective, it's not a problem because we have a very healthy, nice, open relationship. That's not a problem. Then it's when we joke, when you put 2 engineers together discussing what to do with a spare op-amp from a TL72, most likely they will end up with knives. So it's like the we call it the Thunderdome, the engineers Thunderdome. No? 2 engineers getting one engineer get
2
out.
engineers go in, yeah.
So the thing is that now let's say that when they sent us this model, now it's in our engineer's roof. The ball is in our roof. So now it's checking at this, like, okay, what should we do? This crossfade, I don't like this crossfade. Maybe I should do the range. I should change this range. But this range, I don't know. And then the noise, but the noise, there is a pin there. Maybe we could put a mini jack. So let's say that more than a collaboration, I think that they have started a funny game.
It's a dialogue now. So the ball is in your side.
Exactly.
Now you get to make a new module, and then I get to answer that again with a new module. So yeah.
So it's gonna be an endless game of look at what we did. Look at what we did now.
To get maybe the people an impression of it, people know maybe the drum module from Befaco, but what do you added to the module? What was for you important to add? Or where you saw some potential to add more features?
Well, the first thing is that the bass drum module only has the classic pitch envelope, which is the decay envelope. It goes down, so you got the and it goes down only. But for all kinds of classical African drums, you have a way more complicated pitch curve over time. Like people playing tabla, it goes so you already have a whole different set of envelopes that you need to do those kind of drums. So the first thing I changed was actually make the pitch modulation positive and negative, because then at least you can go up instead of just down. And that's very soon got into me adding the second drum, because if you have something that oscillates and decays, then you can have this the second oscillator act as an LFO on the first one in more complicated shapes than just this decay shape. So at first thinking, well, maybe I should just add an LFO with a reset functionality or whatever. Just go copy paste to the whole thing twice. and then from there, I also experiment a bit with things like hard syncing an oscillator when you start something, because if you play a drum, and most people make drums in their favorite software, and have a drum sample and they repeat the sample, and the sample, when you start the sine wave starts going up, and it always goes up, so the bass response is always the same on every kick. One of the jumpers on the back is that you can have the hard sync on, so every time you trigger it, it does start the oscillator in exactly the same state as before.
But I saw on your design you split it in, you color coded it.
Yeah.
So in different section.
Yeah. So this is basically two kickals. So there's the top kickall and the bottom kickall, and they have cross pitch modulation in the center. So the result of the first drum can go into the pitch modulation of the second one, and this reverse. And then in the center, there's sort of the blending line, where it's a crossfader between the top and the bottom. So you get one mix out where you can crossfade between the two. And on the bottom one, I added an extra noise crossfader that can crossfade into white noise or into more classic drum noise, because there's a static bandpass filter that you can also choose on the back to select your favorite type of noise source for a drum.
And how do, from your side now, Manu, how do you describe the sound of your initial module, of the drum module? In which direction it goes from above the drum module of an 808 or 909, or what kind of drum module you put?
I would say it's a drum from outer space.
No.
Space drum.
Yeah, space drum. The thing is, for example, on KickAll, during KickAll design, there was a clear intention of narrowing down the possibilities and try to stick to bass drums, narrowing down the range of the frequency, the size of the envelopes, the times, everything was looking for bass drums. We're not going to say 808, 908, bass drums. With this new one, now it's wider. So you have longer ranges of frequency, as he said. Now the pitch envelope, you can change how it does. So basically, to get to the Befaco, to the KickAll sounds, it's there. But now the model is this wide. And only talking about ranges, which will give you like this very alien drumming, percussive lead. Let's say that this one, the possibilities have been mega expanded. And then something new that he added, and I think it's very interesting, is the cross modulation between the two of them, which it gives another layer of freakiness, I will say.
It's also craziness that happens in real life a lot, because it's very hard to record individual drum sounds cleanly if you're playing a real drum kit. So you play a bass drum and a snare and a real kit and a hi-hat. You always get some cross-contamination of the sounds. So if you play these two sounds together, you have a tiny bit of cross-modulation. You always get a sort of, when you play the bass drum and the snare together, the bass drum gets this tiny extra twist, as if you had an automatic accent built in. But it becomes slightly more lively than not having it. Okay.
In fact, I wanted to ask you why you took the decision to do the cross modulation in this fashion, like taking the sound from the very end of the chain, which is like the already modulated sound, sculpt sound. When in other topologies, drum topologies, the modulation will be a VCO just doing the FM of the other VCO just to have classic FM sounds. Yeah. But now I get the why, and I think it adds an interesting twitch.
I heard or I read there is the module is very limited.
Yes.
Why is it planned, or do you think if there is enough demand, you are maybe bringing more units, or are you working maybe with Manu together, or to say let's do it maybe a bit bigger?
Well, there's several considerations there. We've only made 20, and we intend to keep it at 20 for now because we have this other thing we need to finish first, and just adding another.
This little thing.
Yeah, it's we would love to spend more time on this whole drum series, but at some point we just had to say, well, it cannot have priority and before this thing is done anyway. So we keep it at our 20. We can that's sort of it's a small manufacturing run, so that was within reach. But Befaco seemed interested in taking our changes to the KickAll and then perhaps releasing it as a kit again.
Yeah, what we can say for sure is that now the ball is in our roof, and there was going to be an answer. No, it's true that it's a very strange moment. We are all focusing on keeping our shit together, like real life wise, and then trying to get our daily business also healthy. So let's say that it's challenging times to put more things on top of your daily things. What I'm trying to say is that in other circumstances, right now we will be most likely arriving to Berlin, and maybe we will be having this conversation, having a beer on a bar, and maybe planning things will be simpler.
You don't hear the noise from the Superbooth, all the people beside us.
Not now. I'm trying to make my head on the real thing, because I'm missing the event so much. And I really like, for example, the days before and after, when you still have some time before setting up, or when you set
still
up.
have a voice.
Exactly. In 3-4 days, we will be talking. Hey, hello. Yeah. So this is our new model.
I had the idea to put some background noise from Superbooth to get a bit of the atmosphere.
We'll have to talk louder also to just match the whole background vibe. Just But it's also been a bit of occupational therapy, just the whole world changing and focusing on something that was unrelated to the big thing for a few days.
But I'm pretty sure if Befaco makes a upcoming module in this direction, it will not have that super strange or crazy interface design. Yellow.
Yeah.
But
black, red.
Is that this is not rocket science flavor.
Yep.
It's impossible to get that coolness.
Or make something like a black and yellow, or the black, red, yellow style.
Yeah, or go some direction that's
crossover.
Not either of our styles.
But yeah, like doing completely different. Red, for example.
Yeah, just plain silver panels with some black letters.
Like very, very sober, like very minimal.
Yeah, go back to Eurorex standard Doopfer.
Yeah, Doopfer style. I don't know. So yeah, let's.
Okay.
So right now, just for you guys to know that the model, I have it for a few days. Now Diego has it because we are all working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So we are just sending the DHL, DHL. So now Diego has it, and then Diego is gonna send it to other of the guys. Yeah.
How is your currently in this situation? Is there more demand for your modules, or is it equally to the normal times, or you even a bit less, or is there enough work for you?
I should. There is enough work. Yes. I should run numbers to see if we are best or worst, or I don't know. But we have
at least you have
doing. No. The thing is that we are all working from home. We are keeping the operation working, and that means that once a week I'm taking my car, visiting every one on the team, grabbing what they have built and giving them more material to keep on working, then going to Befaco to drop this thing, where other day people will come to test what has been built, and then another ones the next day will come to prepare the parcels and send them over. So right now, let's say that we are entertained.
And
for
for
us,
you,
it's slightly
Stein,
different because we have. Well, the last time we really released the module before this one has been almost 2 years ago. So logically, our module sales have gone slightly tapering off because people already know them and already have them. We have noticed a slight uptick. People are probably just more at home playing with modular synths in these times. So it's we've been just shifting the stock that we have.
We both, Stein and me, will talk a bit later about the update of the Phoenix synth. But what is now important to know, the module is already available, or is it still needs a bit of time? Or
the CircularThing is available now. We have a few left. Only 2 left. Priscilla is just telling me.
Oh, and the price is going up. 2 left, 500 euros.
Yeah, start bidding. No. No, we have 2 of them left. As I said, we've only only made available for sale 10 pieces. The other 10 have gone to friends and family. Like Manu has one, and I have one in my rack. And the original friend that I started to develop the drum for has 2 of them in his rack, of course. It's if people want one, they can go to thisisnotrocketscience.com and then go to the CircularThing page. It's 400 euros, excluding shipping and taxes, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Just looking at Priscilla to see if I'm not saying anything silly.
Okay. Big thanks, Stein. Big thanks, Manu.
Yes.
I wish you good luck with the module. I think it's near sold out already, so it was already a success for you. And hope to see you again then very soon, and hopefully next year Superbooth 21.
Yes,
and really in Berlin.
Hopefully.
Proper
Hopefully
German beer.
in Berlin, with our good beer in the hand and making some good talks and party.
Yes.
Big thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you soon. Bye.